Hey guys, welcome to Weekly Weird News.
One of the greatest intellectual debates of our time is whether the Earth is round or flat, sphere or disc.
Or concave.
Yeah, or tetrahedron, there's a lot of ideas. And you know, there's plenty of strong arguments on both sides. On the round side, you've got over 1,000 years of math and astronomy, the fact that Magellan circumnavigated the Earth in a boat fucking 500 years ago, the fact that you can literally see the curvature of the Earth from an airplane, and the fact that we've been sending people into space and taking pictures from space for half a century. However, on the flat Earth side,
an equally represented side,
on the flat Earth side of things, you've got the fact that the Earth just kind of feels flat. Along with a paranoid distrust of all official sources of knowledge in favor of shitty YouTube videos. So how are we supposed to know who to believe here?
I mean, I don't trust the man, so unless the man has a YouTube channel and screams at me. Well, okay, listen, one man decided that he was tired of simply believing wholeheartedly that the Earth is flat. You know, he had to prove it to himself. So give him a little credit, I guess.
He's a doer.
This man is Mad Mike Hughes, a limo driver here in California who, for a while, has had a little side hustle as a daredevil, even earning the Guinness World Record for longest limousine jump back in 2002. Doesn't really make me want to get into one of his limos, but he did it.
Let's open this baby up.
Starting a few years back, he got into amateur rocketry with the goal of launching himself in a rocket over the Grand Canyon. But his canyon jumping plans never managed to materialize. He did, in the meantime, manage to successfully launch a few small rockets into the air with himself strapped inside, though this resulted in some injuries every time.
You gotta crack some bones if you want to make a bone omelet.
Yes.
Mad Mike is also a conspiracy theorist. He believes Barack Hussein Obama is a secret Muslim. He thinks Freemasonry is secretly running the US government. He believes the Denver airport is decorated with Illuminati and Antichrist symbolism, and of course he believes the Earth is flat. Now, to be fair, he might not be wrong about the Denver airport.
I was just gonna say, it's pretty creepy.
He might be onto something there. Yeah. Anyway, combining his flat Earth beliefs and his amateur rocketry skills, it was a no-brainer. Literally requires no brain power. So last fall, Mad Mike announced plans to launch himself 1,800 feet into the air in a rocket to somehow prove to himself once and for all that the Earth is flat or something. Oh. He said of his plan, "Do I believe the Earth is shaped like a Frisbee? I believe it is. Do I know for sure? No. That's why I want to go up in space."
At least he's questioning it. You know, gotta give Mad Mike credit for some of it.
Mad Mike ain't no sheeple.
No. Okay, now stop. Never mind the fact that 1,800 feet isn't anywhere close to even the altitude of commercial airplanes. Just forget about that. They fly at like 35,000 feet, but that's neither here nor there. Mad Mike still had a plan, and he was gonna follow through with it, unlike all the other keyboard warriors out there. He managed to build a rocket without even believing in science, so there you go. He told the Associated Press back in November, quote, "I don't believe in science. I know about aerodynamics and fluid dynamics and how things move through the air, about the certain size of rocket nozzles and thrust. But that's not science, that's just a formula. There's no difference between science and science fiction."
And to be fair, this particular launch wasn't meant to be the launch that proves the Earth is flat. It's just one step towards that goal. Mad Mike's long-term plan is to design and launch what he calls a raccoon, a rocket that gets carried up to the atmosphere by a balloon. They take the rocket up before launching, which of course eliminates the need for the rocket to do all that work getting from the ground up to balloon areas.
Jeez.
Why hasn't Elon Musk thought of this? You'd save so much of that fuel.
He should just build the space elevator.
Yeah. Well, Mad Mike says that the raccoon launch will get him about 68 miles up, which is around 3 times farther out than most satellites.
Oh.
So a bit farther than 1,800 feet.
Yeah. Well, anyways, back to this more recent launch, which was successfully conducted over the weekend out in the Mojave Desert. Now, it was originally planned for November and funded by nearly $8,000 in GoFundMe donations, but the dang government intervened because they feared he was too close to the truth, damn it. And also, he didn't have permission to do his own launch over land owned by the US Bureau of Land Management, aka BLM, aka Black Lives Matter. It all ties together, you see. Yeah. Wake up, sheeple. Those Facebook ads, they were telling the truth the whole time. Oh, also his hybrid mobile home / rocket launcher broke down while pulling out of his driveway, so there you go. Anyways, he rescheduled his launch for February, managing to get permission to launch and crash his rocket all on private land. But this time, his GoFundMe only managed to raise $110 out of the $10,000 that he was looking for, and his big launch ended up not being a launch at all. Just a sad rocket out in the desert, sitting still, surrounded by disappointed fans and news outlets who'd driven all the way out to the middle of nowhere for absolutely nothing.
That's how I feel every time I go to Vegas.
Yeah.
Yet, Mad Mike Hughes remained undeterred. And this past weekend, he finally proved the haters wrong by successfully launching himself 1,875 feet up into the air in his steam-powered rocket before parachuting back down to Earth and landing so hard that he injured himself enough to be taken to the hospital. Don't worry, he's fine though.
Okay.
Tis but a scratch.
Yeah.
And he's now planning his next steps. He's gonna get that whole Raccoon rocket balloon hybrid launch off the ground this coming August. I don't know why NASA takes so long with their launches. This guy's, give me a couple months, I'll show you space. And he's, hopefully when that happens, and it will of course not be delayed.
Certainly happen.
Yeah, when it happens in August, it will prove once and for all whether the Earth is flat or round. He also said he's running for California governor though, so the man keeps busy. If nothing else, you gotta admire 61-year-old Mad Mike Hughes' moxie.
I would like to say, for the record, that aside from nearby mountains being taller than he flew, also, he flew about 100 feet higher than the tallest building in America, the Freedom Tower, which is literally 1,776 feet. You know, you could just go to Dubai, go up in the Burj Khalifa, and see the same thing. So this launch meant absolutely nothing.
It meant something to Mad Mike, okay?
Well, he proved the haters wrong. That
he can't afford to fly to Burj Khalifa.
Yeah.
All he can do is hammer together a homemade rocket that powered by steamed hams out in his trailer out in the desert.
Well, this is also not to mention that he could have just chartered a Cessna.
No. They're in on it.
Yeah, they're all in on the game.
They're all in on the cover-up.
Yeah, the FAA is all part of it. That's why they don't let drones go up.
They're all Freemasons.
They're like, the drones can't go any higher than this high because then they'd find out the truth.
The truth, which is that
the Earth is flat?
That the edges of the Earth
and it bounces on the back of a giant tortoise?
An ice wall, yeah.
I mean,
can't let the people know they would be.
Because paradise is on the other side.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
It's the Garden of Eden is beyond the ice wall.
Yeah. So hey, he'll get there one day. But all this really is just free publicity for this Mad Mike guy. I think that he latched onto the flat Earth thing just because he knew that it would get news coverage.
I mean,
the flat Earthers should be the ones that are
entirely possible.
Plus, he's trying to prove them wrong, sort of.
Though it sounds like from recent interviews, he's kind of annoyed with the whole flat Earther thing. He's like they're taking attention away from me. Everyone thinks I'm crazy when I say I'm doing
this. His name's Mad Mike. Anyway.
Sir, are you mad?
No, that's just a moniker. I'm just angry.
Angry Mike.
Yeah, moving on from one outlandish theory to another, aliens. Back in 2012, a documentary called Sirius was released, which posited the idea that the big oil companies are covering up the existence of aliens because allowing us access to alien technology would mean free energy for everyone and no need for shitty fossil fuels. A sound theory. Anyway, one piece of evidence presented in that documentary that made even skeptics sit up and say, what the fuck, was the mummified corpse of what appeared to be some sort of tiny alien. And to their credit, this wasn't some shitty Hollywood prop, it was a real body discovered in Chile in 2003 that's been nicknamed Ada, which scientists, they haven't really been able to sufficiently explain until now.
So the idea of a mummified alien corpse, pretty fun.
It's a fun idea.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
The idea of a mummified stillborn human fetus riddled with multiple genetic disorders, less fun, mostly sad.
Yeah.
Recently, a team of scientists from Stanford who had received bone marrow samples from Ata's skeleton released their findings, and what they found was that Ata's DNA was definitely human, and upon further inspection and closer inspection of her genome, they found that 7 of her genes, all involved with human growth, were mutated. Lead researcher Gary Nolan morbidly described it as, "That poor child unfortunately rolled the dice 7 times snake eyes."
Well, at least he's having fun with it. Now, was this Stanford or Stanford Analytica, Elliot?
That's Cambridge Analytica.
Well, you know, they have different ones for everyone.
They all got Analyticas.
Anyways, one of those mutations apparently caused the fetus's bones to harden and mature too quickly, which is what initially made it appear that this 6-inch long corpse had adult bones and was therefore a fully grown alien, obviously.
There it is.
Aliens, very small, of course.
That's how they sneak into your house.
Yeah. It's not the probes that do it. They're literally going inside your asshole.
Yeah. We've had it all wrong.
Now, to be fair, that's just one of several obvious abnormalities that make Ada so intriguing. She's also got 10 ribs instead of the usual 12, and a skull that's not shaped like that of a normal fetus. At first glance, it's easy to conclude yeah, that's a fucking alien. But the scientific method is about actually looking into things before drawing conclusions. And the conclusion is that it's not an alien, it's just the world's unluckiest fetus who died around 70 years ago in a town that was later abandoned. And then had to get dragged through the mud, being called an alien.
Yeah.
If dying as a fetus wasn't
I'm not an alien, I'm just a very, very unfortunate human. Now, of course, alien enthusiasts, they remain unconvinced. They're not gonna listen to the man's explanation of this. And also, now that these results have been published, the Chilean government is finally taking notice and speaking up about what they view as grave robbing.
Good.
Atta's body was discovered inside of a leather pouch by just some dude who was exploring an abandoned Chilean town back in 2003, and he managed to smuggle it out of Chile into the collection of a Spanish businessman who later allowed that UFO movie and their film crew to feature it in their documentary. So Chile is a bit pissed off that they had zero involvement in any of this, and they're demanding the body's return.
Rightfully so. Now for his part, Dr. Nolan, who wasn't really aware of the whole grave robbing aspect when he took the job, told Gizmodo, "We have previously stated that we believe the skeletal remains should be returned to the country of origin, and by finding them to be human, this research supports the argument that these remains should be repatriated." This research clarifies what has been a very public and sensationalized story for a long time, and it was done out of a desire to bring some humanity to this discussion and dignity to the skeleton. Good. He also told National Geographic, "I don't think that people should be trafficking in human bodies and claiming they're aliens for the sake of monetary advantage." I happen to agree with him.
Probably gonna get downvoted for this, guys,
yeah,
but
I'm gonna say it anyway.
We shouldn't steal bodies and pretend that they're aliens so we can make money. That's just me.
Yeah.
Off my chest.
Bold statement.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into headlines, starting with,
French waiter says firing for rudeness is discrimination against my culture.
when I go to France and I sit down at a restaurant, I want to be verbally abused.
Just treat me like shit.
Yeah.
And then bring me the tastiest meal of my life.
Yeah. Call me uncultured swine. I love it.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to Chicago to that hot dog place and they tell you to fuck off every time you order something.
Yeah, it's charming.
It's fun.
Or you go to what's that other one? Dick's Last Resort.
Yeah,
And they call you a cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you go to Hooters and you try to order the small beer. They call you a pussy. You want a man size?
or tiny little wee size?
Yeah.
Baby dick size.
Well, so I think this guy, he has a case here.
Yeah, I mean he's from France. He trained with the best of them. Went to go get a job in a restaurant in Vancouver. And those boring, those sensitive snowflakes up in Vancouver. Yeah, he should have. They were like, your waiter was mean.
Yes, okay, ma'am. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, well, red wine with seafood. Yes, whatever you say, you dumb bitch.
Yeah, so he did that a bunch of times,
Yeah.
and they fired him, and now he's like suing them.
Yeah.
And it'll be a landmark case about whether
really sets the stage for the rest of these cases.
it will define a legal precedent in the Canadian legal system about whether or not being a dick is a
fireable offense,
key aspect of French culture.
Yeah, and then like you're gonna have a bunch of waiters from TGI Fridays and Applebee's who are like, no, I'm a dick because I'm depressed.
I took the 23andMe and I am like 25% French, so that's why I'm such a dick.
Yes.
So if you fire me, it's discrimination.
Yes. Man has world's worst super gonorrhea. Well, at least he's known for something.
You had me at super gonorrhea, but he has the worst of it.
Wow. Is he in Guinness now? Guinness Book of World Records?
No, he's probably in the hospital.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Is that the one that eats your brain slowly? Or is that
that's
syphilis?
Gonorrhea just like makes you piss like green slime.
Ooh.
And yeah.
Just chop it all off.
So this is like completely antibiotic resistant. This guy needs to get on a plane to Australia right now.
And start fucking those duck-billed platypi.
I mean, maybe don't fuck one. They got that.
No, he just has to rub all over him, right?
Yeah.
It comes to his skin.
Yeah, you just distract him and then like, just wipe your hand all over that disgusting belly and then just
wipe it down.
Bloop, 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 bloop,
Yeah.
bloop.
Yeah, we need to make, we should start making duck-billed platypus lube. Because it'll cure all STDs.
No more condoms, guys.
Yeah. Hey, don't worry about it.
Well,
do you got a condom? Actually, I don't need one. I got duck-billed platypus lube.
Well, actually, AIDS is a virus. HIV is a virus.
Yeah.
As we know, antibiotics don't work on viruses.
Well, Elliot, you see, if you're taking care of most of it, it's fine. Do you know what, kids? Just use a condom.
Yeah.
Because pregnancy is a disease.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
The worst kind.
You're growing something that will eventually die.
It takes 18 years to get cured, and your insurance will not cover those costs.
Moving on.
Animal rights protester killed a heron to save a duckling by ripping open the larger bird's stomach to free the prey.
And he was an animal rights Protester, you say?
No, he was
Like, protesting against animal rights.
He wasn't in the midst of protesting. He just cares a lot about animals, but only specific ones. Only the babies, apparently.
The heron? He hates it?
Yeah, the heron, which is a protected species.
And a beautiful bird.
Yeah, but I didn't know herons were like bird cannibals, but the heron just like walked up to this newborn duckling and just whoop, and then tossed it down, and this old man in Brittany's just like, no! No! And he ran up to the heron, took out his knife, which he carries with him at all times, and cut that baby open and freed the duck. The duck lived.
Well, that's good.
The heron did not.
Oh, well, that's not so good.
Yeah, he disemboweled it.
He has it's a weird mental kind of jump that you have to do to kill one bird to save another.
I mean, it's the whole, it's the whole train conundrum.
Yeah. It's a real Schrodinger's cat.
A big, ugly, endangered heron over here, or you got a cute baby duckling over here.
Mm-hmm. They are cute.
Who do you disembowel with your pocket knife?
Mm-hmm. Well,
he made his choice.
Scientists may have discovered a new organ in the human body. We're like the ocean. We don't know what's going on in there.
Yeah, this is actually pretty nuts.
Yeah. Obviously, it's not a useful organ.
No, well, it's, this is hard to explain.
Okay.
But it may hold the key to how cancer spreads throughout your body.
Oh.
It's basically like just this big gooey mass that covers your entire body and like connects
How did they
all
miss
the other.
it then?
Well, because it's like, they just assumed there was just goo between all the organs, but it turns out that's like its own organ.
Yeah.
And like,
I like
that's
the
how
idea of
diseases
scientists,
spread.
up until this point, scientists, even like in 2017, were like, well, okay, obviously there's the, skin, there's hair, there's fat, there's some goo, and then you get down to the organs, and like, whoa, hold on.
What about that goo?
What were you talking about with the goo? Oh, it's like, it's goo. Like,
don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It's like, it's not, you don't really need to worry about, okay, maybe you have to worry about it because it might actually be the thing that spreads cancer, but we actually don't know what it is yet, so we just kind of call it goo.
It's the goo.
It's the goo. It's the goo that holds, it's actually your soul.
It weighs exactly 21 grams, and it flies off into space when you die.
And Simpsons did it where like when you sneeze, that goo is kind of your soul escaping.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you gotta cram it back in by saying, God bless you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's strange, but apparently.
I don't even know if they have a name for it yet, but they should call it the goo.
Yeah, that's the goo. Yeah. That's the gooness. Don't lose it. Don't cut too deep. Naked Trump statue going up for auction.
Yeah, this is the one we covered back in the quaint
early days.
Mid 2016.
Yeah.
When everything was a joke.
Made by the same guys that did like bum fights, right? I think it's the same artist collective or something.
Could be. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I think the bum fights guys, they're into like stealing dead bodies now.
Ah.
And this was made by some art collective, and they put one up in Los Feliz and in New York, and he's got a tiny dick with no balls.
Yeah.
And they said this is all the rest of them were destroyed. This is the one left, and they're hoping to get like $30,000.
Put that thing in a museum.
Why would you want this in your fucking house?
No, wheel it out in the, someone needs to buy it and set it up in the Disney Hall of Presidents. Perfect.
Yeah. Owl causes chaos at wedding, attacking best man after delivering rings.
Wait, the owl delivered the rings? It was a train owl.
It's gonna be so cute. We're gonna have an owl.
Oh, they're Harry Potter fans.
We're gonna have an owl, a predator, a bird of prey, deliver our rings inside of a church.
And you never know which way it's looking. Its head's always, they can do a full 360 almost. They're wild.
Yeah. Well, apparently the idea of delivering the rings with an owl, it backfired and the owl attacks the wedding party.
Yeah. Well, this gives me a good idea for my wedding because like, you know when people do like the bride and groom coming together, they'll like pour 2 different colored waters in or they'll pour, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna release an owl and my fiance is gonna release a mouse.
Yeah!
And then when the owl kills and eats the mouse, then we're finally
only
family.
then is the wedding consummated.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Also, like, he could have just flown away with the rings.
Well, I mean, yeah, he could have done a lot of things. I mean, I'm sure he was just very unhappy with the whole situation.
It's like when they release
what is this shit? I'm supposed to live in a barn.
Those eagles or hawks or whatever, they release at like football games and they just fly away.
Yo, you thought I was coming back?
You dumbass.
Peace. Shit.
Humans are stupid. Don't they know I can fly? Dumb.
Serial toilet clogger on the loose in Wisconsin, authorities say.
Uh-oh.
It's all that cheese.
It's that, yeah, that's exactly it. Or not, the toilets aren't strong enough.
Yeah, they need a big, see the thing about the big dick toilet, here's a detail we haven't shared with you before.
Yeah, it's got maximum flush.
Because the patent was pending.
Yeah.
But now that it's in the Library of Congress, alongside the Magna Carta.
Yeah.
So the drain hole of the Big Dick toilet is the same diameter as the base. Like, it's literally just...
It's a huge hole.
It's just a hole.
Yeah.
That eventually tapers off into a normal size.
You can't clog it, though.
But if you look down into it, it just goes off into infinity.
Yeah.
And it's impossible to clog.
Yeah.
And it's reinforced with steel.
Yeah. My favorite thing is when they put like the, what is it, like the hot dogs and stuff in the toilet to do that, the pressure like.
Yeah, why do they always test it with hot dogs?
Because they're like, that's what turds look like, right? Just long and skinny?
I mean...
Not this guy's. This guy's pushing out footballs.
Yeah, apparently it wasn't even just poop. Like, they were taking a shit and then jamming 2-liter bottles into the hole.
Well, that makes
over
sense.
like dozens of times over the course of
yeah,
like
so
2
that
years.
changes the story entirely. This guy just isn't having like a bad bowel movement.
I think he puts the bottle in there so he can sit down on the toilet and get the bottle in his butt for pleasure.
Sure. Whatever you say. Yeah, anyways.
Yeah.
He puts the bottle with the cap side up, sits on the cap, shits into the bottle.
He shakes up a bottle of Coca-Cola until it's like ready to burst.
Fills him to the brim.
He jams it into the hole. He sits down, he hovers a bit, and then he unscrews it, and then
that's a bidet.
And then it's like just up inside of it.
Yeah, the soda bidet.
And as we know, Coca-Cola, that'll strip the grime off of a penny in just hours.
Yeah.
So imagine what it does to your sphincter.
Yeah. Mother crashed car into pole to prove to kids God is real, police say. What was...
Oh, you don't think God's real?
Jesus, take the wheel.
Well, I'm gonna crash into that pole, and you're only gonna survive because of Jesus. And they did, so obviously Jesus is real.
No, Jesus, take the wheel, and then he crashes. He's like, Jesus is not a very good driver. He was born well before cars were ever even thought of.
Yeah, I mean...
What is this horseless carriage?
Young boy, it is I, the Lord Jesus Christ.
How do you operate such a means of conveyance?
Where is your mule?
And then he crashed, and he went back to heaven where Jesus lives, I guess.
Yeah.
Where does Jesus live?
Heaven.
I guess.
Yeah.
Do you get to meet him when you go?
Yeah.
I bet there's a long line to meet Jesus.
Yeah, it's like VidCon.
Jesus putting $3,000 in a bush somewhere.
All right, kid.
Yeah. All right, one picture's enough. Yeah, all right, cool.
Oklahoma proposes a bill that would finally require kids to wear seatbelts.
Oh, finally. Do they still have a law where you can sit in the back of a pickup truck completely unrestrained?
A lot of southern states do. I know, like, because like Florida, kids are required to use seatbelts, but pretty much anything else is fair game, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Adults don't.
You have to wear a seatbelt if you're an adult, for sure.
I don't know. The last time I was there, which I admit was like
they have
five years ago.
ticket.
So. I think if you're a driver, I don't know. I took a cab, and it literally, like, on the side, it was like,
no worries.
All children must wear a seatbelt.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I mean, this is pretty no nonsense. It barely passed. It was like 50 to 40.
Who was saying that we shouldn't have kids buckled up?
I don't know. I just don't think big government should be telling me
how to raise my kids.
How to make my kids survive a horrible car crash.
Well, the lady that crashed into the pole really needed it.
That's right.
God's plan.
But it wasn't the seatbelts that saved those kids.
It was Jesus.
It was the Lord Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And don't you forget it.
Yes. Amazon patents delivery drones that can react to people screaming and flailing. So they can call 911?
They want the drones to like be able to know like if it's a bad time. So they're like,
oh, sorry, you guys are in the middle of a big fight. Huh?
Yeah, they're just like, yeah. So they're training it like some algorithm to recognize like, shoo drone, get out of here. Get out of here.
Go away, not right now.
And they like,
go away, bait.
Like apparently you'll be able to like go out and give them the thumbs up and it'll be like, okay, all good.
Visual cue.
Come on in. But if you're like, get out of here, it'll know.
Yeah, your neighbor's gonna be fucking with your
I'm
packages.
sorry, I'll be back at a better time.
Mm-hmm. Whatever.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's our show. Check out a new episode of Tech News Day about how Facebook is fucked, and a new episode of Tugs about how Far Cry 5 might be propaganda.
But it's not.
It's not, it's just a game.
Bye.
Bye.